But wait, there's more. It's time for the Insider Trading After Show with our special guest, Martin Biron. We are here to talk about the subjects that the insiders talked about in greater detail, like the fact that Jacob Markstrom has been mentioned in a lot of rumors over the course of the last couple of weeks. The guys talked about it. We know Ottawa's kicking tires on Jake Markstrom, Marty. But really, at the end of the day, it seems like New Jersey is still a front runner. Do you think it's just a matter of time before Tom Fitzgerald gets the guy he wants?
Yeah, absolutely. They cannot make the same mistake they made last year. They waited way too long before acquiring not only one, but two goaltenders at the trade deadline. They should have done it way earlier in the year, and they picked the wrong guys. It was Jacob Markstrom all the way. He had already waived his no-movement clause to go to New Jersey. So I think that's the advantage that New Jersey already has. When you look at the teams that may look at Jacob Markstrom, is that he's already said yes to the Devils. And the Devils are the better team, I think, that is looking to add a goaltender. I know the Ottawa Senators would say, oh, wait, what about us? You know, one thing that the Ottawa Senators last year were 31st in the NHL was in save percentage, team save percentage. So Markstrom would definitely help the Ottawa Senators when it comes to better goaltending. But what do you do with the two goalies you have right now? Almost $7 million in the Ottawa crease. Adding $6 million to that would really crowd the crease. So I think New Jersey just makes sense. They got Jack Hughes. They were hurt a lot last year. They've got a really good young team and a team that's primed. They were in the playoffs 2 years ago. They're primed to get right back there with a solid goaltender like Jacob Markstrom coming in and play the way that he did last year with the Calgary Flames.
Artie, Darren Dreger just talked about the fact that Mitch Marner is preparing to be a Toronto Maple Leaf next season. He's fully prepared for that. That's the contract he signed. That's his right, absolutely, to want to play for the Maple Leafs. But, I mean, Marty, this is the Toronto Maple Leafs. You know as well as everyone. It's distraction city. It's distractions everywhere. And this is going to add to it. Do you think this is a situation that might be too distracting next season?
I don't think so. Listen, if he makes the decisions that he doesn't want to go anywhere else and the Leafs decide that, look, Mitch Marner is going to be a Toronto Maple Leafs, it's going to be at least until the trade deadline, and maybe then something could change. But you look at everybody inside that locker room would love to say to Mitch Marner, you're Toronto Maple Leafs, you're our friend, you're our teammate. We are going to embrace you. We're going to make you better. You're going to make us better. It may get a little awkward with the media, as many speculated that, well, Marner's not going to be there next year. He's the one you've got to trade. So, and with the fans that have spoke out on social media, or even if you run into Mitch Marner somewhere around, Toronto, and you say, good luck next year, wherever you're going, I think it may get a little awkward for everybody else. But inside that locker room, we've seen that often, Jay. A guy gets traded, and the first thing players say is, oh, he's my friend. He'll always be my friend. I'll always cheer for him. Mitch Marner is really well liked inside that locker room. He's got great friends there. He's been there for a while. I think everybody would love to see Marner back in Toronto, and no distraction. If he's back, that's because the Leafs and Marner's camp want to be there, and they'll make it happen.
Kind of a similar situation in Winnipeg with Nik Ehlers, except for Nik Ehlers, the speculation is that Kevin Cheveldayoff might need to use him as a trade chip to acquire maybe a top four defenseman. And there's also a lot of speculation that Ehlers might welcome a move. Do you think that would be the right move to get that deal done now, Marty, and let Ehlers go and solidify your decor in Winnipeg?
Yeah, what we saw last year, right, a few things. Number one is that the Winnipeg Jets signed Scheifele and Hellebuck to long-term deals, having 1 year left on their contract. Nik Ehlers got 1 year left to his contract. If the Winnipeg Jets don't offer him a contract extension, then you say, well, maybe that's my last year. And the second thing that happened last year in Winnipeg is they traded Pierre-Luc Dubois. Why? Because they needed depth at forward position. They got Iafallo, they got Velarde, and now Velarde can probably slide in to Ehlers' spot because of the production that he had last year. He could get 65, 70 points, maybe even 75 points, in a full season if he plays 82 games. So now you can look at Nik Ehlers at $6 million, 1 more year left on his contract, and you can really go and fill in more spots that you need to help. You just mentioned a top four defenseman. They're going to probably lose DeMello and Dillon, unrestricted free agents, so you got to help the blue line. So the chip last year was Dubois. This year's chip is Nik Ehlers.
Finally, Marty, I can't let you go without asking you about Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final on Thursday night. The Oilers are in a 2-0 hole, but they're back at home in front of their home crowd. What's your confidence level that they can cut into this series lead for Florida?
Well, obviously, the Edmonton Oilers, they've got the best player in the world. They got a Leon Draisaitl that is not played up to what I think he can be. And look, it's a lot better to be down 2-0 coming back home than being down 2-0 going on the road. And I've been in those situations before. So I'm a glass half full type of guy. And I look at the Oilers and I think, yeah, this to me was going to be a 7-game series. I didn't expect Florida to win both games at home. But look, you're going back home. You're the Oilers, you're McDavid. You're going to make some changes. You had a couple of days to really think about your game, and the adjustment will be made. So I'm confident that the Oilers are going to play their best game, Game 3. Does that mean they win? Who knows? They played pretty good in Game 1 and didn't win.
Yep.
But I think they're going to show up in Game 3 with their best game.
Marty Biron, really appreciate you being on the show. This has been the Insider Trading After Show, and after the commercial break, Jason Strudwick will join us to talk Game 3 of the Cup Final.